everyone, welcome back, and welcome to another episode of Sisters Talk Chisme. I'm your co-host, Daniela, and with me I also have
Kelly.
And today we actually have a very special guest joining us. So if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Naomi. I'm their friend.
So today's podcast is basically going to be kind of like an interview. So we're going to be interviewing Naomi about our friendship and just like questions that I have come up for her and just like what we think about our friendship, maybe some lessons we've learned, Kelly included, because Kelly is someone who knows Naomi very well, and she's also one of Kelly's friends. So I feel like this just pertains to our friendship situation and just like learning lessons. So basically I'll ask the first question just so people know, okay, which is, how did we meet and what was your first impression of me?
Okay, so we met, we were working at the same job. You were there first. It was my first day, and you were the front desk person.
Yep.
And after that, I had to work with you constantly at the front desk. And then from there, we just started chit-chatting, and then we just opened up a little more and more, and then eventually just became pretty good friends.
I mean, and like I said, we worked together. I think I told you this already before, but when I first met you, I was a little skeptical because I didn't know how to read you correctly. So I was like, I don't know. First, I didn't know if she was Mexican or not. So I was like, her name kind of gave it away, but I was like, nah, I don't want to like judge. So I was like, I don't know. And then we just started talking more, like opening up more. And I was kind of like I wasn't your supervisor, but I was like
You were my trainer.
I was her trainer, so I was training her on
all
desk.
things. Front desk. Healthcare.
And I think that's how we got a little closer. And we were just like the only ones up there for a while. And then how you met Kelly was actually pretty funny.
So how I met Kelly is me and Daniela always walked out of work together when we closed, and we were walking out of work, and I just saw this girl sitting outside the door, and I thought, oh my god, this poor child, she's so sick, she needs an appointment, but we're closed. And then all of a sudden I'm just staring at her, and all of a sudden I see her get up with Daniela, and Daniela's like, oh, this is my sister. And then we all walked our separate ways. And then I think I came back like the night, I think that was on a Friday. I came back on the Monday, and I was like, who? Oh, sorry, I was staring at your sister so hard. I thought she was a patient and she needed help.
No, you weren't the only one. People would come out of the office. It's like, I'm sorry, we're closed, our hours. I'm like, oh, I'm actually waiting for my sister.
Well, like, because you, she would wait for me outside because only on Fridays.
Only Fridays.
Yeah, only Fridays. And that Friday, you so happened to be there, and she was waiting for me. She just waits for me because we go home after. So.
I was also like, I think I saw Naomi like when I talked to you, and then we went out, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is Naomi. And I'm like, oh, it was her.
Because I obviously talk about you at home, so I was like, oh, she hadn't met you yet, so then she met you. So
and that was such an awkward first meeting. and then I didn't meet you again for a long time.
That's true. I don't know when was the next time.
The next time we met was
it not hanging out at the apple orchard?
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Well, when we really actually talked. It was that time.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden we just kept talking. And then get a job here. And I was like, oh.
And then we went to a pumpkin patch. And then I got a job here, and we started going to the gym together. And the gym does wonders for our social life.
And we got to know each other even more. And I was like, oh.
I think it's just us being together a lot of the time, like in the same area. I think helps like us keep together. Because also for the longest time, I think that's another question is how, because we've been friends for like how long?
We're probably gonna hit 2 years. Here soon.
Yeah, pretty long.
I know.
I think, and I don't know if it's one of my other questions, but it's basically like, how do we maintain that friendship?
Yes.
And I think I talk about this sometimes, but you actually talked about this the other day when we talked about, what was it? Low maintenance friends? Or
either like when you have low maintenance versus high maintenance friends, and like how to maintain both friendships, even though you might be a high maintenance person,
right?
And they're not, and they're very low maintenance. But how do we maintain our friendship? I think the gym really helps.
I do agree.
In terms of like, it's not an obligation, but we know, we have a set time, and if you don't go, it's fine. But like, it's there and we want to go. Like, it's a thing we're trying to keep track of. And then also, it's so easy because we work on the same campuses. So we go to events together, and we'll go to breakfasts and lunches together.
Or get coffee.
Yeah,
Or we'll get coffee or lunch. And especially during the summer when it's so empty, I think it was really good to have someone on campus that you could kind of talk to.
True. I do agree. I think that's like the best way that we were able to maintain our friendship is just making sure that we keep up. And even if it's not seeing each other every day, just seeing each other like whenever we can. I think what was it, last week? I didn't see you for like a whole week. That's because I was gone.
Yeah, and it seemed like so long.
I know.
But if you think about it, there was times when you like left our old job that we didn't see each other for like months.
Yeah, because I was gone.
But to be fair, we didn't know if our friendship was going to progress out of a work thing.
That's true. That's
Until
another
it
thing.
did.
Yeah.
And then also just even being able to be close to Kelly, which is my sister. I think I talked about this the other day, but with you and Michelle, but I think sometimes it's hard. And sometimes people think it's weird to have a friendship with your sibling.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I personally think it's like, I don't mind, and I don't know how you feel about it, but
I know that I would never be disrespectful or like turn Kelly away because she is your sister. And also it helps that like I'm trying to maintain a healthy friendship with you. So I'm like, and I like Kelly and she's great and we laugh. And I think the gym brought us together a lot because that's where I really got to know her. And after that, I think it's like healthy to have, be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
Especially when we do things and we go out of state and we'll go to Chicago. It's like
Lollapalooza.
You gotta be nice and cordial.
Yeah, that is very true. What do you feel, Kelly? How do you feel?
Yeah, like what Naomi said, I'm just like, dang.
Well, how do you feel about her being my friend and then you being her friend?
Oh, pretty good. Honestly, like throughout high school, we were only 3 years apart. So like throughout high school, when I was a freshman and you were a senior, I would talk to some of your friends and some of them would try to like push me aside. But obviously I just noticing that made me see like, dang, these people, I don't know how Danielle's friendship is gonna go with them. They never turn out right. But like I'm like, okay. And then like granted there are some people and Naomi being one of them, like that do include me and do talk to me and like consider me their friends, and I'm like, oh yeah. But honestly I think it's just the fact you're both the same age, right?
Yeah.
But like
24.
Yeah, I'm 24.
Okay.
Yeah. But like when you still had a year in so I think that I kind of connected it, like
she's
I was still in college when I met Kelly, so that makes sense.
Yeah,
so true. I think that like, it kind of connected us a little bit more too, because sometimes most of your friends were like your age or older, because your friends was also Michelle friends, so like, that kind of made it happen.
Yeah, that's true.
And it probably helped that I wasn't like Michelle's friend. Like I never met Michelle, and so maybe you didn't, like if all three of us were together, you didn't ever feel left out because you were the odd one out. So I think maybe it was easier for you to form that friendship with me because I was so new. I'm not a hometown friend. Like you don't know my parents. You know what I mean? That's probably what helped.
There's like this
I do agree.
Random girl.
This random girl.
Just a random girl
who so happened to meet everyone in the family.
Honestly, and well now, so I mean, I think that's another thing is just like not being a hometown friend. Like, I mean, you're somebody I met like 2 years ago, and like I have friends that are like I grew up with them. I think we talked about this too. Like I feel like it does help that you don't know, and not in like bad ways that you shouldn't know anything about me, but
No, like I think there's people you grew up with and they know a lot about you and they've formed their own opinions of you from other people, because a little town like yours, everyone knows everybody. But I had no opinion, and I think that really helps when you're meeting people. Like I literally did not know anything about you, and whereas like a hometown friend, they might have heard something or have seen you around,
already have ideas.
Yeah,
I do agree. I think that does kind of help also with our friendship.
It does. It's very clean and fresh.
Clean and fresh.
I feel like it's better, like, to make friends in college and, like,
right,
like a shorter, like, not from your hometown, just because of, like, that whole, like you were saying, it's like cleaner, fresher. Honestly, I feel like I'm more connected with them than with my hometown people.
That's true.
Well, if you think about it, also, it's like you're maturing and changing so much, especially out of high school. And as you grow up, that sometimes, like, the new friends you meet are going to be more the people you gravitate more because they're where you're at in life.
That's true.
It's not like your high school friend that you have to be nice to and you're always around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is where I'm at in life, and you guys just reflect that.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good thought.
Yeah.
That's a good way to think of it.
There's only, like, one person that I still keep in touch with from my hometown. But that's because I remember that because we hated each other in the beginning. I hated her and she hated me. We were both different races. So, not being racist right now, but this is things we would say. I was in 3rd grade, you know? I don't know what was coming to my mind, but I was like, I don't like you. You're Guatemalan. No one likes Guatemalans. And she was like, so what? At least I'm not a beaner. And I'm like,
Oh my goodness.
and we just kept that energy up until middle school. And then we were just like, you know what? You're not that bad. And she's like, yeah, you're not that bad yourself. And then we just started talking. And because the only reason we kept talking was because, okay, say you're that one girl and I don't like you. Say we just, and then this girl was like, no, we need to be friends. So I'm like, fine. So we just kept talking because she wanted us to be friends.
Yeah.
So then in middle school, she's gone because she, like, went to a different school. And it's just you and me. And we're just like, you know what? You're not that bad.
Yeah.
And then high school came. You came back. We kept talking. We kind of didn't want to, she kept talking to me like we should dump you. And I'm like, I don't want to dump you because you were there for those 3 years that, you weren't there. So I was like,
Daniela, you're awful. How dare you?
I mean, it wasn't me, but
like, in that perspective.
Well, the person who is me in that position, or
yeah. Well, we don't talk to her anymore. So.
Okay, so the next question is, so I actually did answer one of the questions that
you wrote down.
That
I wrote down, but what's your favorite memory of us together?
Okay. This might sound kind of crazy, but my favorite memory ever is when we realized we had been duped. We had been lied to, and where Daniela's like confronting me at work in a very nice way, being like, listen, this is what I've heard that you've said about me. Like, this is what she's saying. And she knew something was going on. And she basically came back, what's the truth? Because we were getting very close and we are so alike, and it helps that we're like from the same culture and everything. So it's like, and this girl was just like, you can tell.
Yeah.
And so this girl was feeding me and Daniela lies about each other, being like, Daniela said this about you, and I'd be like, oh, like, it just started building up, and she did it to both of us.
She did.
Dude, yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday. Daniela came over and she was like,
I did tell Kelly.
She told me because I was the only one there. Like, Michelle wasn't there. So she was like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, honestly, I feel like that girl's lying to you because for the things that you told me about Naomi, I feel like she wouldn't do that.
Kelly encouraged me to
I was like, because she was like, should I just like avoid her? I'm like, no, you should confront her. I'm like, honestly, you're never gonna get to the bottom of it if you don't confront her. And also it's gonna be like that one friendship, like, because you had a friendship like this before.
Yeah, I did.
And I was like, you know what? Just confront her, because I feel like she wouldn't, And knowing Naomi, I feel like she would. She wouldn't like back away. She would probably talk to you too.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like this is a lesson that I think I learned a lot when this happened, and I do think it's a core memory, because I think if this didn't happen, I don't think we would be as close as we are right now. I think honestly we would have drifted away.
No, I think we would have been like those friends that talk crap about each other.
Oh, for sure.
And like, well, yeah, we probably wouldn't be friends. We wouldn't be here right now.
No, probably not. I remember. So basically, what had happened, I'm not going to spell out too much details, but just to give an idea, I had a feeling I left for something, and I was gone, and then you and me were still fine.
Yeah.
And then I came back, and all of a sudden the vibes were off. Like, something was wrong, and you were just like avoiding me. You weren't looking at me, and I was like, what's going on? And mind you, there's this other coworker that started this all. If you're watching this, you know who you are.
Literally.
She sat there and she just started talking to me as if nothing happened. And she also, I noticed, was also kind of avoiding me a little bit and started talking to you. And just like you guys were like just talking, and I'm like, why are they excluding me right now?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
And basically what it was.
And I was like, that is so weird. And I was just like, okay, whatever. And I think I remember I asked you something and you kind of just like brushed it off and you were a little cold. And I was like, okay. And I was like, maybe she's like, something happened.
Yeah.
But it was just so weird because I had left for a while and then I came back and then all of a sudden you're just like cold. So I was like, what the heck? And then so you left, and I think it was later that day you left because you leave early sometimes. And then that coworker turned around and told me that you were saying stuff about me behind my back or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, what? And I'm like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And she's like, yeah, she was saying this and that. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, so I'd be careful. And I was like, okay. And so I went home. I told Kelly, I was like, Kelly, I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about it. I feel like Nahomi wouldn't do that to me. Yeah. And then I think it was the next day. Was it the next day that I confronted you?
I think it was.
Yeah, like straight away.
The next day or the day after.
Before. Yeah, or the day after that.
It was just like
very recent. Yeah. Let's just say that. Like, I didn't let it go on for too long. And then I remember, and that day you were out a lot. You were just like, I'm like, no, I have to talk to her today.
Yeah, I was doing training. So me and the girl were both going out a lot.
Yeah. And they were together. And that's what
office
really irked me, is that you guys were together. I'm like, what else?
And I remember she took me to the little lunchroom and was like, Daniela said this about you. And I was like,
I can't with her. Anyway, and so I caught her. I caught you. And then I was like, hey, Nahomi, can I talk to you for a second? And you were like, sure.
Are you shaking?
What? No. And I did this out of the goodness of my heart because I wanted our friendship to continue. I wanted it to be a good, also, I mean, it's a workplace and I want you to have a good workplace with me. And I was like, did you say this about me? Because so-and-so said that you said this.
Yeah.
And you were like, I remember your reaction was so...
No, I think I was flabbergasted.
You were.
Because I remember the way Daniela was explaining it to me was like, this girl said you literally turned to her as soon as I walked away and started mouthing off all these lies. And I go, are you kidding me? She literally turned towards me and said that to me.
Yeah.
That you said that about me.
Yeah.
So I said, first of all, she didn't keep her story straight.
No, she didn't.
Because if she would have, she could have gotten away with it.
She could have.
But she was all over the place and telling us similar things. And I did tell Daniela, I was like, I was angry. And I did end up saying, I did say this about you. Daniela was like, yeah, I was angry too. So I said this about you. But like, rightfully so.
Right,
because, we thought we were being talked about as soon as we left. And it's not a good feeling. And we caught her in the lie.
Oh my gosh, we did.
We never confronted her.
No, but we like made it obvious, I think.
Yeah, because
we started being super talkative together. But we're still kind of chit-chatting with her, but not like we were like just a day before.
Yeah, you could tell that we had known. Like, she probably definitely knew.
And like, I remember this because Daniela tells me everything when she comes back from
I do. I mean, I have to that to somebody.
I'm like her therapist. Rightfully so. I'm going for that, But like, she would come back and she would be like, oh my gosh, that girl doesn't give me good vibes. And I'm like, not Nahomi, the other girl, the one who started the drama. She's like, she doesn't give me good vibes. I'm like, I want to see her one day. So that one Friday, I don't know why, but you can tell how somebody is just by the way they look. She walked out and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the girl.
This is her.
I was like, this is the girl? And I'm like, you're with every right, you do not have don't trust her. I literally looked at her, I'm like, do not trust her.
Yeah, and it was a make or break situation because we were not that close.
No,
it could have been that Daniela just wouldn't confront me. It would have ended. It would have been a bit of a hostile kind of end to that friendship. But no, she confronted me. Yeah. We resolved everything. And then ever since then, we're closer than ever.
Yeah. Honestly, it took a lot. I took everything in me to actually confront you and say it. I'm not a confrontational person at all. I don't. And I know Nahomi said, I thought you were because you confronted me.
Yeah. She straight up. Did you say this about me? I was like,
I got to get to the point.
No. Yeah. It's that's what people don't know about us. Even all three of us, Michelle too, we're the type that don't like confrontation, but if we have to, we will, and we'll just go straight to the point. We won't beat around the bush.
Yeah, no,
just get to it.
I feel like at this point, I don't know, it took a lot in me to say that to you. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. I was like,
she was practicing with me.
And I feel like it doesn't help that the type of person I am is very like upfront in terms of like I've learned now, but I didn't used to really censor myself, and I had really raw thoughts that sometimes didn't sound as pleasant. And I do have a bit of a face when I'm just like, you know, I don't know people, I'm just like quiet. You know, it can give off a vibe, and I feel like, yeah, it could have been something totally different.
And I think I've said this before, but like it goes back to my first impression of you. Like it's hard to read you, so I feel like that's why it was like, I wouldn't say you're like a blunt person, but like
I used to be way more. I feel like I've kind of
I think that warned
changed.
me.
I did because I mean sometimes it could be taken the wrong way, and I didn't want you to think that way because I'm like, I think that's just how she is, and in all good ways. Like obviously I'm not saying anything.
I think it used to be worse. I definitely think I've learned to like censor myself a lot. And I used to think like, oh, I'm so cool, I'm being honest. No, it was just rude. And like, yeah, you live and you learn.
I mean, obviously you learn from your mistakes. But
let
me see the next question.
It's crazy. Because I was also like, I met you and I was like, I see what she means.
Yeah.
I was like, but like, I honestly, thanks to Daniela like warning me. If not, I would have been like, she's such a.
I feel like your feelings would have been hurt.
Like my feelings get hurt really quickly.
Yeah,
really. And I'm pretty good at kind of picking up on people's emotions. And if I feel like you're kind of like detaching a little bit, I'll like start being super jokey. You know what I mean? Like no, it's okay. Like, you know what I mean?
No, me too. Like honestly, it sucks because sometimes when I get frustrated, you can see my emotions, and I'm just like, ugh, and I get mad because I know, and like I know when it happens because I'm like, ugh, and I get mad at myself, and I'm just like, ugh.
I think that's one thing to learn is that from friendships, I think you have to be really honest, and that's why I'm always like, I tell you, like I warn you about her, and you like warn each other because like I don't want you guys to get hurt because like I know Kelly more than you do, so I'd be like, hey, she's like,
well, you know her habits. No, she told me, she was like, hey, Kelly gets like this sometimes, like just be warned.
You're like I
would
girl, where
I would just kind of leave it alone because I knew Kelly is a super smiley, like because I only saw her for short periods of time. And then one day it really happened to us at the gym. And we were really digging in at Kelly. And me and Daniela both wouldn't stop. And it wasn't anything bad, but we just kept kind of repeating ourselves to her about something. And I could tell she immediately detached from us. And then I was like, that's it. But I found it hilarious. I kept laughing and I felt so bad. I'm like, what if she thinks I'm laughing at her? I just think the situation is so funny.
I heard you and I'm like, she's just trying to, you know.
I'm like, I'm trying to lighten the mood. And I feel like when I feel a little awkward, not that I really did that time because I've been warned, I kind of just laugh it off.
I mean, it's only the right thing to do. And like, Kelly has been warned as well, so. But my next question is, what's one adventure or experience we still haven't done together but should?
So I do want to go out of the country together, go on a trip. I think that'd be super fun. I think we've done concerts. We went to Chicago to get, which I've been wanting to do, and I thought it was really fun.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you have time. Good time.
And I think just go on a trip.
Travel.
Travel. Maybe a road trip.
Have we hiked together?
No, but we need to go hiking together.
I feel like hiking is
we've been planning.
Thinking,
but during the summer we just never got around to it.
Yeah, that's true. Summer's ending now, which I think summer's gone actually a long time ago. We're in October.
About to be November.
We're far from. I think honestly we've been planning to go to a different country for a while, and I think we just need to find the right time. Which eventually, I mean, that does take time, I think, to think of somewhere to go.
Where like both of our schedules and
line up. What's the best piece of advice I've given you? I don't know if I've given you any advice, but
you know what, you have.
Oh, really?
And it actually stuck with me a lot. I remember I was really anxious about a friendship that I was kind of struggling with, and I came to you. It was around like Christmas time, and I remember you told me like, listen, if it like, because I was like, should I reach out? I don't want to be the one to reach out. Like, it's her, the ball's in her court. Like, I've done everything. I remember you said, if it brings you peace, reach out, and what happens past that is not your fault. Like, because Danielle was like, I've reached out and I've tried to reconnect and I've tried to resolve stuff, and I like let go of all the pride and just did it. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. And I did that, and genuinely I just felt way better. Yeah, I think sometimes you gotta let go of the like pride with stuff like that, and I think that was a really good piece of advice. And
that's good. I'm glad. I think I do remember that. I remember telling you, just from like past experiences. I think I know that, and I'm not saying I've had like millions of friendships, but I've definitely had some friendships that just haven't sticked, which kind of sucks. But I think you learn from your friendships, and I think this is like what that's about, is just learning. And I think that you reaching out to put your piece, and like I think I kind of said like basically along the lines like, you do what you need to do to make your mind go fine, like bring your mind at peace, and then whatever they do is going to be determining like whether you can continue to be friends with them or not.
Yeah, like you can't control other people, right? But you can control your own actions. And if it was like, if you do want to be friends with that girl, message her. Right. Like, you just need to let it go, because it's doing you more harm than good.
I think that is another thing that with friendships, which I've learned, is like, it's a two-way thing. So if you really want to make it work, like, you guys will both find a way to make it work. Like, I feel like we've made it work. I mean, we didn't work together for like a whole year, and we were still friends.
Okay, we didn't work together for like 4 months.
Was it? I thought it was like a whole year.
You started in August, so it would have been September through January, because I started in January. Oh, so you were only working there for like I know it seems
it seems like a long time.
It seems like a long time.
Well, even then, 4 months, I think people can easily break from that and just like not continue to chat or talk to each other. And I think we really made it work because we really wanted to make it work.
Yeah, and I think just having mutual respect. Like, I remember when I applied to the job I have now because of Daniela. I was at a standstill with my job search, and I told Daniela, I was like, I'm not gonna apply to where she works unless she's okay with it, because I'm not trying to intrude. If I want to be a good friend, like, I know she doesn't own the place, but like, it's respectful to be like, hey, like, I saw these job listings, can I apply? Especially because I applied in a position in the same area as you. I ended up not working with you, which I think is healthy. Yeah, that we don't work together.
I agree. I mean, we've worked together, and it's not like it was bad. I just think that it doesn't hurt to not work together. It's fine to not work together. Boundaries. I think friendships that have boundaries set, and I don't know if we really have specific boundaries, but I think we know they might be like just set boundaries, if that makes sense.
I don't think we've ever like spelled them out, but I think we've shared experiences where our boundaries were crossed. Yes. And I think that really helps to be like, okay, well, she doesn't like that. Yeah. And like, this is how she feels about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I do. I think that sticks in my head a lot, is like, from your past, what you've told me, I'm like, okay, she doesn't like that, maybe I shouldn't do that. Or I don't know, I always like to ask too, to make sure you're comfortable with it, because I don't ever want to put you in a position where you're uncomfortable. Yeah. In any situation, obviously.
Yeah, same. I wouldn't want to do that to you.
Yeah, no. And neither Kelly. That's why I always ask if it's like okay if Kelly comes, or if it's okay if, it's like the gym too, like when we go to the gym, sometimes Kelly can't come, or like sometimes you guys hang out together too, and that's okay.
Oh yeah, we hung out that one time. You know what, and it's fun, and you know what, like, if Kelly ever said, hey, do you want to go get lunch with me, I'd be like, yeah, let's go. Well, if she was like traveling or something, I'd be like, yeah, let's go, let's do it. Like, so I think it's good to have that like little friendship, obviously not exclude anyone. Right. Like, realistically, if I invited Kelly, I would invite you if you were here. Yeah. Like, I mean, what am I going to talk with Kelly by ourselves? Like, you can't hear.
Yeah, no, that's true. But yeah, I agree. I think that having those boundaries, or maybe not spelled out boundaries, but like, I think that's a good lesson that we've learned.
Just being respectful of your friend.
That's true.
And their time.
That's true. Because, I mean, ultimately we are also adults, and I mean, we have real life, like, things that we do. Yeah.
Yeah, we have like, sometimes like financial constraints or stuff like that. You just never know. Whereas, like, I feel like when you're younger, like, I feel like you can say and do anything because, you know, you're in high school and it just doesn't matter. But as an adult, you really have to have respect for somebody.
That's true.
Not that you shouldn't when you're younger, but like as an adult, you learn that you demand respect and you should give it back to them.
Exactly. And also, I think that goes back to low maintenance and high maintenance friends. I think that's another thing is that just like, I think I've learned that I'm not a very high maintenance. I think you said that, right? That I was low maintenance.
You're very low maintenance.
Yeah.
Well, we can start saying like, so you think you're low? What do you think?
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I might be a little bit high. I'm like in the middle.
I think like, I'm mid.
You're mid.
Yeah.
I think I'm mid that can turn into high.
Yeah.
If I let myself spiral.
Yeah.
Like, Daniela is very easygoing in terms of if I don't see her, I feel like our plans always go through because they're not always happening usually in terms of like when we go out to eat and do stuff. Right. Because we don't do stuff that often. So our plans always go through. And the thing is, Daniela has 2 sisters. So she doesn't need friends. Well, like she should have some.
Yeah.
But she doesn't, you know, you really... That's like your company. Your sisters are like the people you vent to, your company. And me, I don't have that. So that's why I feel like I'm more high maintenance or in the middle because, you know, I don't have someone my age in my family or a girl that, you know, isn't married and has children. And I feel like that we live very similar experiences. So that's why I can become kind of mid, like, oh, well, do you want to go to lunch today? Well, do you want to do this today? Oh, we should do this, guys, because I am trying to, like, you know, you guys are my company.
Yeah 100%
at times.
I do agree. I think that I've learned that, and no disrespect to you, like I love being your friend, but like I always tell Michelle and Kelly this, like at the end of the day, because I've had so many like friendships that's just kind of like, you know, that we do only have each other. And I feel like that's why I'm like low maintenance. I've become low maintenance because I feel like I wasn't low maintenance at one time, at one point. But now I've become pretty low maintenance. And when people want to hang out, well, let's hang out. If we don't hang out, that's okay.
Yeah. And mine is like, oh, I really want to hang out. Like, this is going to be my fun time, you know, for the week. And when I'm with my friend, oh, yeah, like, that'll be so fun. Whereas, like, otherwise, I'm just sitting at my house with my mom and my grandma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, like, different because you have sisters. And, like, I don't take offense to it because I remember when we first started becoming friends, you said, like, like, I don't, like, my sisters are, I do everything with them, and I've been burned in the past, so, like, my friendships are kind of non-existent with other people.
Right.
And I think, like, I've learned from, like, the people that have burned you, like, how to, like, navigate our friendship. But, like, also, like not get offended or if, like, you know what I mean, Daniela isn't reaching out as much, like, in the past when we didn't work together. Now that we work together, it's so much easier to get lunch or something, and that, like, satisfies our little, like, hangout. You know what I mean? Whereas,
I think that does help.
Whereas in the past, like, you have to schedule, all right, let's go to lunch, let's do dinner.
Do something outside.
Let's do outside. And, like, you just got to coordinate it a lot more. And
there's a lot more
so
planning.
Easy.
Now it's just like it's a thing. It's like a daily, it's like in my routine. Like going to the gym, see Naomi, tell her all the tea.
The gym is just our talking time.
Honestly, the people at the gym are probably annoyed at us, but
the way we cackle in that gym while people are working out.
No, it really is.
It's just you two. I don't really go with you guys
anymore.
Not
but
anymore.
She used to like a lot of you. You'd come with us. I mean, it'd be all 3 of us.
Yeah.
So not anymore, but
my gym crush left and I left and
didn't
have inspiration anymore.
If you want to see that story, go listen to that other podcast of her talking about her gym crush. But yeah. Okay, next question. I think this is another. I think we've honestly talked a lot about these questions without even me wanting to. Yeah. But the other one is like, is it really like? I'll just ask it. What do you think will be like as friends 10 years from now?
So this is hard because Daniela is not from Indianapolis. What do they know you're from Indy?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Do they?
I don't.
Okay, I'll rephrase it. So this is hard because Daniela is not from this city where we're at. She lives in the northern part of the state, and it's a bit of a drive.
Yeah.
But you know what? I feel like at that point we just be like old time friends, and you know we can meet in the middle, or I drive up, and I intend to really keep this friendship. Because hopefully nothing bad happens in the future. But also people get married and they have kids and their priorities shift.
True.
And, you know, they go through different situations where, like, they might not, talk to you, or they'll get a new job and they're super busy.
Right.
But I think maybe even, like, seeing each other once in a while can, like, keep it alive. Especially because I feel like if I saw you, I would just spiral into, like it would be like no time passed.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm a yapper, so I think I could just
get everything out of the way.
Yeah.
And now that we kind of know each other more in terms of, I know your sisters, I've met your mom, I've told you things about my family, like we kind of know where we're, like what our lives are like.
Right.
I think it's easier to just kind of fall into like talking, even if we don't see each other for a while.
Yeah. I do agree. I think that's a hard question to ask. Only because, like, I have long-term goals that maybe won't align with our friendship, and not in, like, bad ways. It's just, like, obviously, I mean, we both graduated. We're doing our job. We're adults. I think that's the thing.
We know that this is not our forever situation in terms of jobs, where we're living.
Right.
All of that. And and right now it works for us.
Right.
But, like, if either of us moved, it instantly creates a complication.
Right.
But that's why there's social media.
It's true. It's true.
So
I do also intend to continue to have this friendship, hopefully.
And make an effort. Yeah.
Right. I always make an effort. I feel like it kind of goes back to, like, I make an effort and I did what I can, and if it doesn't reciprocate, then it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I will always make an effort, and it just, I guess it's up to us to keep it. But overall, I mean, 10 years from now, we're also going to be like 30 something. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be 34.
that's crazy.
So it's like...
I mean, we might actually have, like, our own lives. And I'm not saying that I'm going to stop talking, but,
yeah, like,
you know.
kids and a husband. But, like, it's harder to navigate life around that type of thing.
That's true.
When you have your own family. Not that I would know.
That's very true.
But I think, like, that's tricky. Also, I think because we've had friendships fall out after only, like,
Very
a
true.
couple years or something. So I feel like you can't always predict.
Right.
Like, maybe, like, in the future, I won't serve you, or, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or, like, something happens that, like, which I hope not.
Oh, yeah.
And I think where we're at in life, and we're very respectful to each other.
I think we're at a good place, and I would love to think about the future, but I think that's something that I can't control. So
Yeah, same. Because I also have goals.
yeah,
But they align with the city. And yours don't.
yeah. Honestly, I know we talk about this all the time, and I think you expressed some worries about it too.
I get anxiety because I feel like I get lonely, and although I, like, have family and everything, it's not the same because they're not my age. I can't relate to them as much because they're mothers. My cousins have daughters and they're older than me, and, like, I relate, like, we're literally in the same situation.
Right.
So I think I just relate to you guys so much more. So it can get lonely for me thinking about, well, Daniela's not always going to be around, like, who, I don't know. But I think that it's just a part of life.
Yeah.
You just need to learn. And I think I got anxiety from my last friendship. And I've learned to, like, kind of stop putting all, like, the responsibility of other people onto other people to make me feel less lonely and stuff. Like, friends are there for you to hang out, have a good time, vent to, but they don't need to carry your burdens. So I feel like it's just me working on that and kind of not necessarily, this sounds bad, but detaching myself. 'Cause I feel like sometimes I really dig my claws in, like, in my mind, like, I think, oh my god, well, these are my really good friends, like, well, what am I gonna... And I think it's really detaching myself from, well, you know what, if it happens, it happens. We can still talk. We can still see each other once in a while.
True.
It won't be frequent. It won't be the same.
Right.
But we need to enjoy it while it lasts.
That is true. So another thing is just enjoying it while we
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
Doing everything that we can now that we're together and here.
Close.
And like my mom says, younger.
And younger and young.
And young. Because once you get older, like I know you guys keep talking about like, oh, how you guys gonna be like, but also not just like family, but also like your body wise, because your body does get, you know, as you get older,
we're gonna get fat and ugly later.
Well, if you keep eating a lot and
it's crazy. You should call me out.
No, but like your body does get obviously when we were in high school we were different. I mean, we did sports back then. We were, we can run the world. But now I like just doing a little walk. It's just like, oh my gosh. Or like going up those stairs. It's just like, Lord.
Yeah.
I think you're right. As long as we have good health and we're fine later in life, then we'll be able to do things. And now that we can and that we're young. So yeah, it's a hard question to ask.
Yeah, and you go through different financial situations.
Very true.
That might like stop you from doing one thing or the other.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Especially
in the future when you have kids and a husband.
Yeah, honestly.
Who knows? Maybe like one day Naomi's gonna hit up Daniela and be like, "Where's Kelly?" Like, "Oh, she's living under the bridge." Under the bridge. You know, you just never know.
I doubt it.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think so.
Come visit.
Come visit. Okay, let's see. Like I said, I think we answered most of these questions. Like,
if you guys have anything off script you want to ask me, go ahead. This is your chance.
Naomi. So how? Just kidding.
I thought you actually had something for her.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay, what's one thing I'm curious about this one. I don't know, you probably already answered. I feel like there's so many similar questions, but what's one thing you appreciate about our friendship that you haven't told me before?
What do I appreciate about our, let me see, it takes me 30 minutes to think of something. I like the nature of our friendship. I feel like it's super young and fun in terms of like, I never, you know what I mean? We're never, I don't know how to explain it. Wait, let me think about that again. I just think, I don't know, I just think it's so easy.
Yeah.
It's so easy and like, it's always fun and young. It's never something like, you know what, our friendship doesn't really carry many burdens a lot. And I really like that. And I just think, we're super funny together. I think we get it. You know what? This is actually what I really like about our friendship. We get into these little giggly moods that I think are so fun to me. Where like we're just like riffing back and forth, and like that happened this past weekend. I think it was so fun.
I keep thinking about it.
Kelly and Michelle were just like not into it, and me and Daniela were like giggling.
I don't know. We were on something.
We were.
Yeah, I remember.
Like these girls,
you guys were like up in front, and you guys were talking and laughing, and I'm just like, "Can we talk like that?" And she's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay."
And I really like that like we can get into that, and like I think it's fun, and I really like that we can. I mean, this has nothing to do with you, but that we work in the same place.
Yeah.
So we really relate on that.
Yeah, I think very relatable. I think that's what, I mean, to me, I agree. I think something that I really appreciate about our friendship is that I feel like it's different than my other friendships. I feel like, you know, when you hang out with somebody and you just feel super drained.
Yeah.
Like, you just kind of feel drained with that person. Like, sometimes you even question, should I even hang out with them?
Yeah.
I don't feel like that with you at all. Like, I feel like it's very natural. Like, I just hit the mic. Hopefully I didn't echo on there. I don't know. I feel like you're like another sister to me. Like, you know what I mean? Sweet. Like, I'm like, if I hang out with Kelly like that, like, I can tell you anything, and I feel fine with that.
Yeah, and yeah, I like that too. We're pretty open about. I mean, I tell you just about anything, and you know what? I know you'll listen, and you won't really. You're not dismissive, and I feel like there's people that are dismissive or take information that you've shared, and like throw it around, or you know what I mean, or kind of judge you. And I never feel judged with you.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I don't judge you.
No,
I trust I don't judge you.
Yeah, no.
Thanks. Like,
if anything, she judged me more than you. Like,
true.
she doesn't judge you at all. And she's always like, Kelly, you get on it. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
So, like, if I need a vent, I know. I'm meeting Danielle at the gym at 4:30.
That is so true.
Let me tell her about my day, and I like that we can do that with each other because it really alleviates so much like stress off your shoulders sometimes. When you can like be validated by someone else
and just listen.
Yeah,
I think I've been told that apparently, that I'm a very good listener.
You are a very good listener and responder. There's some people that listen and don't respond.
Yeah, they just stay quiet. I'm just like,
I mean, I feel like I don't know. I just like, I relate to what you say a lot. So I feel like I agree. You know, I would never be against, maybe there's like maybe one time or like one thing that I'll be like, okay, but
yeah, you know
but,
what? But that's just natural.
But it's, I mean, I can't always agree, but I do think that for the most part, since we're very similar, we're similar in age, we're similar in where we work, our workplaces,
our thought processes
Yeah.
are pretty similar, or
Yeah.
like the way we grew up is very similar.
Very true.
So we do have like similar morals.
Yeah, I agree. I think that
and
helps
ethics.
too.
Yeah.
And also, like, sometimes we like the same stuff, like some K-pop.
Yeah, and I
girl.
think that's the thing with my friendships is I really try to kind of take interest in something they like, even if at first I was like, but you know what? Like, I think that's all about like being a good friend, or maybe just like trying to create a stronger bond. Like, and you know, you never know what you might find or what you'll like.
True. I know, that's true. I mean, I think you've learned a lot from me about
I have.
my likings. I think it was pretty surprising, right, that I like K-pop.
I didn't expect it from you. But once I started seeing you with all your little, like, you're very cutesy. You love very cutesy stuff. Very kawaii, some might say.
Yeah.
And that's you. Like,
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I can kind of, when you told me, I was like, oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah, I am very much like that. And I think people get surprised a lot, I'm not going to lie, when...
Like, Kelly, I can look at her K-pop.
no, yeah. I think it was because of the people I hung out with in high school.
Probably.
Like, granted, I did sports and stuff, but I also, that one friend, literally, she's been with me through high school, and like, we were just talking about K-pop and stuff. Literally, she was the one who, like, well, not really, like, she got me a little bit more into K-pop than when I was in middle school, but she was just like, hey, and then I was like, okay, whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was not gonna lie, I was like one of those people.
We all were.
I was
like
like,
people.
Dang, they look like girls.
No, literally. No, I think we all were those people that's like, it's in a different language. I don't understand
Oh,
it.
yeah. I was like that.
Like, why
at
would
one
I
point.
listen to music I don't understand the words to? Or like, yeah, like they have a different look than the men I'm usually into. You
yeah.
know, they don't look like an American man or a Hispanic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I just don't understand them. Or like a traditional man.
Right.
And then you kind of like get into it.
Yeah.
I think I've always loved like a girl group more because it's easier.
Yeah,
I love
that's
the
true.
girliness. I love the outfits.
Yeah.
So that's why I love a girl group more.
Yeah, I do. I think obviously people love their own. I think there's people who love guy groups more than girl groups more than guy groups. I mean, very much so. I mean, we went to a concert recently, XG, and
so
love girl group. That was my first girl group
Really?
concert that I've been to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we've only been to guy
Guys,
groups.
see, I love a girl group. I think.
Yeah. Honestly, it was fun.
I
was
think
super fun.
the vibe is just more like
Oh, yeah.
empowering.
Yeah.
Like girl empowerment, cutesy and
Yeah.
cool.
It
And I
was.
love that.
Like, there's
Yeah.
people behind us, and they're like, oh my, that's
I think we
my
were just a
girl.
vibe.
And I was like, okay.
It was just a vibe. I think we were really vibing. I know you were having a grand time.
Yeah.
I was having. I think
I
we were
turned
both
around
having-
and I
Me
seen
and
that. I was
Daniela were
I was
having
like,
a good time.
okay. So then I started joining in.
Yeah.
When I knew the lyrics, I was going crazy.
Honestly, same. because,
Literally,
like,
I
it was
just,
kinda
if I
hard.
didn't know the lyrics, I would just look at the screen because it had the lyrics.
Yeah.
Oh, that
was
helped
like,
a lot.
That did.
The little, you know, I mean, that still makes you a fan, even if you don't know the lyrics.
Yeah, like, it's just because sometimes when they're singing, they sing too fast, and you're just like,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Even though it's all in English.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
like,
true.
Yeah, but I feel like K-pop has such a bad connotation with it. Where it's like weird here, at least in the States.
Oh, yeah,
I
100%.
feel like, and that's definitely what I had, and that's what you know, had thought, and you at one point.
Yeah.
But like when you open up to it, it's just music and singing and really cool dancing.
Yeah.
And cool outfits, and
Right.
that's where I'm at with it.
And if you get with it, you get with it.
And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed.
yeah, me
I
neither.
love it.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I started with Japan, like Japanese groups.
Yeah.
That's why it was like, they look like when I went to Korean.
Yeah.
Because they wore all this makeup, and I was like, oh my gosh. With the Japanese group, they just did like eyeliner and stuff.
Yeah, they do have a lot more makeup.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
and I was just
lie.
like-
They don't really, tickle my fancy that much.
No, me neither.
I don't think I've found like one that I really like.
The K-pop, the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll have to
Yeah.
I'll have to introduce you to
You'll
some.
have to really make me like explore it.
I don't want to like force you to like K-pop, but it is fun to have somebody. I think
know a group that you might like, actually.
Yeah, we're gonna have to give her some recommendations.
Recommendations.
I think it is. I think it's fun. I mean, I've grew up listening, like idolizing like artists, like One Direction.
Oh yeah.
And
Literally R&B.
And like I used to listen to Little Mix and you know, and I think that's why it translated a lot more easier for the girl groups.
That's true. That's true. Anyway, we'll wrap it up here.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up here.
No question for me? You don't have to, but I didn't know if you had a question for me.
No.
Okay. Just Michelle. We'll ask her in a bit.
Okay, well, I guess that's pretty much our interview. I hope that, I mean, the whole purpose was to hopefully share some lessons from our friendship to some of our viewers, and you know, maybe they relate to us, and you know, in some ways, if not most, on just how to keep friendships and how we've been able to keep ours. So hopefully you learned some things. If you did, if you want us to do another one, let us know. We'll have Naomi on again. She wants to do a mukbang. Is it mukbang or mukbang?
Mukbang.
I don't know, where you eat food. She wants to do that with us, so maybe coming soon. But yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it. So it was, I'll let Kelly take it away because she does the outro and I don't know.
Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube as well as Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And don't forget, we have an Instagram and TikTok, so please follow that. And thank you so much for watching Sisters Talk.
Chisme!
Again for watching Sisters
Talk.
Chisme!
Woo! Okay, let's try again.
She was right. She was like,
No, okay.
okay.